What is up guys, it's your boy Gunsoww and welcome back to a new video. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make some interesting switch ups just to make your beats less boring. And when I mean by switch up, I mean like during the actual verse, not just like an outro, you know, something that actually changes the mood of the beat or it hits you with something different. Now for the beat, this is what I'm going to be using. I made this real quick and it sounds like this. And it's the same pattern, literally the same 4 bars repeated over and over. So how can we make this sound a bit more spicy? Well, I'm gonna show you. But first of all, what you're hearing, all of the drums, the melody included, all of these come from my drum kits and from my loop packs. And you can get all of them for 75% off because I hit 50k and you know, you can do the math and get them for pretty cheap. Anyways, let's make some switch ups. Since I'm using only one pattern for all of this, it means I only have this. Basically, we're gonna start with the drums. What you can do if you actually want to have it a bit more organized, you can basically move all of these down and then just split the channel. You have all of these like this. It does make it easier to see which elements you want to modify instead of making everything unique. And by that I mean, if let's say in this part I want to get rid of the kick, I would normally have to make the pattern unique just to modify one thing. But what I can do now is just remove it like this. And this is basically the foundation of our switch ups, basically. Meaning we can take some things out without having to make the whole pattern unique. There's no specific formula to make a switch up. You just have to feel it. If you feel like, okay, maybe I got rid of the kick, now I could also get rid of some of the hi-hats and make them come in after the claps. So you can do that. You can also rearrange stuff, once again, without making them unique. If you feel like having more of a groove coming in, you can just chop the 808 in half and it's automatically gonna restart the note. So, you know, so you can do all kinds of things like this. Again, there's no formula. You just have to feel it out and listen to it multiple times. See if you got bored of one element, then remove it or change it up a bit. Imagine someone rapping over it. Do you want to have the same flow on the whole beat? No, because it's boring. So with the same logic, you just play with the elements. So let's say I don't want to actually have hi-hats at all until the very first kick hit, which is here. So but I also feel like having a reversed 808. Now this is where we're gonna be actually adding new things. So I'm just gonna use the 808, drag it here. I already showed you how to make a reversed 808, but since I already used it here, all I can do is just copy and paste it like this. And you can make this one unique if you already used it. If you want it to be more in your face, you can let it play for longer. But in this case, since it's overlapping with itself, what I'm gonna do is actually make this pattern unique. And then right around here, this is the note where the reversed 808 comes in. What I'm gonna do is add another note, drag it down one note or two, doesn't really matter. Select it, take down the velocity, and then make sure it's a slide note and put it up on the same note. So it's gonna sound like this. It's gonna sound like it's going down and then coming back up. And now we can actually make this a bit louder. So you can do all kinds of things like these. If you want to have some more groovy kicks, I can just chop this note in half. And that's one of the reasons why I personally prefer to have longer kick notes. So I can always go and change them without actually having to make the pattern unique. So in this case, if I change my magnet to half a step, I can just do this. Of course, it's not gonna sound good in every single place in the beat, but you can do this. You have the option to do so. But okay, this is one example. Now, let's actually play with the melody as well. So let's say this is our important section of the beat. This is where we do the switch up, right? It comes once and then switch up. So there are so many ways to do so. The one that comes to me right now is making it unique and then linking it to a different track. And not only that I'm gonna link it to a different track, I'm also gonna grab the exact same settings that I applied on the track beforehand. So if it's on 6 normally, and it has an EQ. Now it's on 7, but it has the exact same EQ. But here's the thing, you can reverse the melody, you can use gross beat, you can use shaper box, you can use so many other VSTs. Once again, it comes down to preference and what you want to do. In my case, I'm going to be using shaper box and I'm just going to go through the presets and see what sounds the most interesting. So now the melody goes from this to this. And then it goes back to normal because, you know, I just want to switch up that specific part. So with the drums, it sounds like this. Now, you should be able to tell that something was off when the second melody came in, and I'm talking about this part specifically. Because the melody stops and the drums still go on, it sounds awkward. So we gotta fix that. So how do we do that? Well, first of all, I'm gonna get rid of the open hat because it comes in right when the melody stops. I'm also gonna stop the 808, and since we've already made this pattern unique, I can just go in and then stop the 808 like this. Although I really like how the clap hits, so what I'm probably gonna do is stack the clap with an 808. So like this, but maybe take it down to semitones. Although in this case, I may actually move the reversed 808 here and get rid of this one here. Maybe it's gonna sound good with both. Let's see. Although I'm gonna play with the in knob just until I can actually see it coming around this area because it was extending inwards, and I don't want it to start before the actual 808 stops. I want there to be a small break so you can actually get the idea that, yeah, the melody stopped completely. So maybe even more. Something like this. And what I could do is actually make the kick unique, get rid of the first note entirely, and then do this, but take the notes all the way down when it comes to the velocity and then just slightly bring them back up like this. Maybe bring them back even more. Maybe even more. Maybe add an extra note. Maybe turn this one into a roll. Not too bad. And maybe add an extra note here. So now we have this switch up. I'm also probably gonna remove the rim shot just because I don't want it to be as repetitive. Like, I want to hear it once every 8 bars, not every 4 bars. So I'm just gonna get rid of it in this part as well, which is not gonna be a switch up. But yeah, it already sounds a bit different. It's gonna make the rapper change its flow a bit. As you know, even the smallest changes can make a big difference when it comes to the overall track. But I mean, yeah, this is basically the idea of making some switch ups during the verses, not just at the end when you're just, you know, making an outro for outro's sake, like I do sometimes. But yeah, I mean, it's not rocket science. But yeah, that's about it with this video. Thank you guys for watching it, and I hope you managed to learn something from it, and I'm hoping that you're gonna be making beats more interesting. And yeah, as I said in the beginning, you can get all of my drum kits for 75% off. You have the link in the description. The discount code is automatically applied at checkout, so you don't have to worry about adding in a code or something. You just add the drum kits or the loop packs to the cart, and then you're gonna see the discounted price. But yeah, it was your boy Gunsoww. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.